Welcome to Queensland Votes, Seats to Watch. I'm Professor Sue Harris-Rimmer. We have assembled Australia's best political scientists and policy researchers to identify the electorates we believe will impact on the outcome of the 2020 Queensland Election. Let's start in the north of Queensland, where we've identified 4 seats. Barron River is held by Labor on a 1.9% margin. Barron River covers the northern parts of Cairns and takes in Kuranda and the coastal corridor of Yorkeys Knob and Trinity Beach up to Palm Cove. Former Cairns Regional Councillor Linda Cooper is the LNP candidate, with Jenny Brown for the UAP. Single-issue party The Informed Medical Options, Adam Muir is contesting along with Aaron McDonald for the Greens. Barron River is a classic bellwether seat. The outcome of this seat may indicate a change of government, so it's one to watch on election night. MUNDINGBURRA, held by Labor on a 1.1% margin. We're already seeing a strong law and order focus in Townsville-based seats, and MUNDINGBURRA is no exception. MUNDINGBURRA covers southern parts of Townsville along both banks of the Ross River. Sitting member Coralie O'Rourke is not running in 2020 due to ill health and has been replaced as ALP candidate by Les Walker, a former Townsville City Councillor. Former police officer Glenn Doyle has been endorsed by the LNP. Both major parties are vulnerable to swings against them, and how preferences flow from minor parties will be crucial to the outcome. A potential loss here for Labor. A third seat in play in northern Queensland is THURINGOWA, currently held by ALP on a 4.1% margin. THURINGOWA is one of a trio of difficult seats for Labor in Townsville. Voters swung against both Labor and the LNP in 2017, with One Nation and Katter's Australia Party gaining 14.3% and a 15.6% swing respectively. The sitting member Aaron Harper will have his work cut out for him against LNP candidate and former Townsville City Councillor Natalie Marr. With no Pauline Hanson's One Nation candidate running at this election, Katter party preferences will be vital, but it is unlikely to change hands. The final electorate to watch in northern Queensland is Townsville, currently held by Queensland's Deputy Speaker, Labor's Scott Stewart, by a margin of 0.4%. Though the seat has been held by Labor for all but 6 of the last 26 terms, it is now the party's most marginal seat after a 5.3% swing to the LNP in the 2017 election. The LNP candidate John Hathaway previously served as MP in 2012. 8 candidates have been nominated, including former Australian Rugby League player Greg Dowling for Clive Palmer's United Australia Party and former public servant Joshua Schwartz for the Katter Australia Party. With law and order as the main election issue and the likely preference flows, it is difficult to see a pathway for Labor to hold this seat. Now let's head south to central Queensland, to the seat of KEPPEL, currently held by Labor's Brittany Lauger by 3.1%. KEPPEL was created in 1992 and incorporates the Yeppoon, Emu Park and Byfield and surrounding coastal resorts and agricultural areas. In 2017, both ALP and LNP received swings against them, but we saw a massive swing, 25.5%, to Pauline Hanson's One Nation Party. In 2020, former Brisbane Bronco and One Nation candidate Wade Rothery is incumbent Brittany Lauger's biggest opponent. Next up, the seat of PUMICESTONE. PUMICESTONE was established in 2001 and includes the retirement haven of Bribie Island and mainland parts of Caboolture, Sandstone Point, Donnybrook and Beachmere. Incumbent MP Simone Wilson is retiring, putting the LNP's 0.8% hold in a precarious position, particularly given the ALP-dominated history of the seat. Former Ballon Shire Deputy Mayor Fiona Gaskey is running for the LNP against Labor's Ali King and the Greens' Richard Ogden. For an electorate largely satisfied with the current government's COVID-19 response and with constituents voting in their 4th new MP in as many terms, this seat is definitely one to watch as the LNP is hanging on by a thread. Heading further south to the swinging North Brisbane seat of Aspley, Labor's Bart Mellish holds it on a 1.2% margin. The electorate of Aspley covers outer northern parts of Brisbane and includes the suburbs of Bridgeman Downs, Castledean, Aspley, and parts of Bald Hills, McDowell, Zilmere and Geebung. It includes some strong Liberal voting areas and has been won by the Liberal National Party in 6 out of 10 elections since 1992. Mellish is again recontesting, along with Amanda Cooper for the LNP, a former Brisbane City Councillor. Though marginal, a must-hold for Labor to return to the government benches. To the seat of Clayfield now, held by Tim Nicholls, LNP since 2006. Clayfield runs along the northern bank of the Brisbane River and Enoggera Creek and has been a majority LNP seat for most of its history. Nicholls, who was opposition leader at the time, is definitely under challenge from the ALP's Philip Anthony for a second time. Clayfield will be a test of whether Premier Palaszczuk's handling of the coronavirus will translate to votes. Former Greens Senator for Queensland Andrew Bartlett is running in the seat and I'm sure is hoping to see another substantial swing to the Greens as in 2017. Now we're moving to Everton, held by the LNP on a 4.9% margin. Straddling the border between Brisbane City Council and Moreton Bay Regional Council, the seat of Everton was established in 1972 and was initially an ALP seat. Former rugby league referee Tim Mander has held the seat since 2012. While it has a 4.9% margin, the electorate is likely to respond positively to the Premier's handling of coronavirus. Mander is challenged in Everton by the ALP's Danielle Shanky. Moving on to the electorate of Mansfield, currently held by the ALP by a 1.6% margin. The electorate of Mansfield covers the string of outer southeast Brisbane suburbs of Wishart and Mansfield. It has been variously held between the Liberal Party, National Party and the ALP. Like other electorates experiencing a swing against Labor and the LNP in the 2017 election in favour of the Greens and One Nation. Former principal of Cavendish Road State High School, Corrine McMillan, ALP, is up against Janet Wishart, LNP, Rob Walter from the Greens and Brendan Taylor from the Legalised Cannabis Queensland Party. No surprise here, South Brisbane is in play, currently held by Labor by 3.6%. South Brisbane covers the inner southern suburbs of Brisbane directly opposite the Brisbane CBD. It has been considered a Labor safe seat for an incredible 105 years, only lost by the party on 3 occasions. It was former Premier's Anna Bligh's seat and has been held by Jackie Trad since the 2012 by-election. The inner city seat is also likely to vote against the coal policies of the Labor government. The main opposition to Labor will be the Greens candidate Amy McMahon, who contested in 2017 and got an 11.7 swing to her. With the Greens already holding this seat in the Brisbane City Council, the Greens are confident of finally winning this Labor prize. The seat of MAIWAR, held by the Greens' Michael Berkman by a margin of just 1.6%. MAIWAR was first contested in 2017, having been formed from the parts of the abolished seats of Mount Cootha and Indooroopilly during electoral boundary redistributions. Present MP Michael Berkman won the seat after a close 3-way contest in 2017 and is challenged by Labor candidate Palani Thavar and LNP candidate Lauren Day this time around. Berkman was the first Greens MP in Queensland history in 2017. His narrow victory makes MAIWAR a marginal seat for the 2020 election. We've chosen MAIWAR as one of our wildcard seats. Our second wildcard seat is the inner city electorate of MCCONNEL, held by Labor's Grace by a margin of 7.9%. Formerly known as Brisbane Central, MCCONNEL is a wildcard for this election. It has traditionally been a Labor-dominated seat until the Campbell-Newman landslide of 2012, but returned to Labor at the 2015 election. The ALP now holds it with a 7.9% margin. However, like many central Brisbane areas, the Greens have been polling strongly and in the 2017 election recorded a positive 7.8% swing. ALP's incumbent Grace is up against the LNP's Pinky Singh, the Greens' Kirsten Lovejoy and UAP's Malcolm Wood. Gentrification and a strong and growing Greens presence places this seat on a must-watch list for election night. Moving to the Gold Coast seat of Burley, held by the LNP on a 4.9% margin. Burley is a southern Gold Coast electorate carved from the South Coast seat in electoral boundary redraws in 1992. While it has been held by the LNP candidate Michael Hart for the past 3 terms, it is now contested by a large lineup of candidates and a particularly famous local and ALP candidate, 3-time world surfing champion Wayne Rabbit Bartholomew. The combination of rising environmentalism, concerns over Labor's handling of the border closures, and also the introduction of a strong ALP candidate in the form of a popular surfing legend will make this seat the subject of a hotly contested race. Finally, we have the relatively new Northern Gold Coast electorate of GAVEN. Incumbent is Labor's Megan Scanlon, who holds the seat by 0.9%. GAVEN was Labor's only Gold Coast victory at the 2017 election, and it remains Labor's second most marginal seat. Megan Scanlon is the Assistant Minister for Tourism, Industry and Development and is challenged by LNP candidate Kirsten Jackson. She is joined by candidates from the Queensland Greens, Pauline Hanson's One Nation, Legalise Cannabis, Queensland and the United Australia Party. This field of candidates indicates there will be a difficult hold for Labor, maybe a near impossible one. For more election coverage from Griffith University, head to queenslandvotes.com.au.